The thing is, you're being disrespectful, son. That's what it came down to.
He's like, don't you disrespect my boy like that.
Put some respect on my name, all three of y'all. Keiran, I feel like you and I have always been in this mess where we step right into it. Step right to the wrong part of every conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, no, it's happened many times before.
Wow, yeah, what the hell?
There was a time that you used to just talk like normal people. And I tell you, after so many conversations that I know you had with your dad and with your uncle, you stepped up your game, because it's like, maybe I could just say stuff and they won't know what I'm saying. They might not know these words. Turns out they're just as wordy as you are.
No, they're wordier.
Yes, they're
are. Wordier.
They are.
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting this in there, man. I'm not cutting any of this. If anybody wants to sit through us laughing and not knowing the joke, here we go.
No, see, you know what made me step up my game, actually?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
It was hanging out with a lot of my gay friends, because they would just roast me to death.
Right?
Oh my God.
I mean, they keep a read on lock, don't they? You're like, I just know you're coming for me. I feel it.
It's that like mental ping pong where, like, you know, you'd be messing around and then they'd slide in something super like messed up about you, and you're like, huh?
That was like between us. Not us and everyone else now.
Yeah, and you're sitting in the crib with like the whole crew.
Hurt, don't it?
Yeah. So that's
why I don't have friends.
Why
That's my solution to all of that. No friends. No one knows anything. Yeah. Come for me. See what you know.
You could just be wrong the entire time. It could be funny, but you'll be wrong.
Right. My favorite thing in my head, like I always am talking in my head. I'm like, well, I could agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. And this is booyah in my head. Because who am I talking to?
You're just like, I'm winning. I'm winning.
Yes, for real. Yes.
But anywho,
you know what? I was going to tell you that I use Audition, and because I use Audition as part of that Adobe platform, everything makes sense, because Adobe builds their apps the same way all the way across. So you can do Photoshop, you can do Audition. I can't do GarageBand to save my life.
Really?
Really, and I know it's made to be simple, and I don't know why I cannot figure out GarageBand. Did you just give me the intellectual?
No. Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what I just gave you.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, baby. It hurts. Okay, deep down in my feelings, right there.
No, I mean, like I said, I think the only reason I actually understand GarageBand is because I took those classes in by the way, for a while.
That makes sense.
Like, I mean, it was like a legitimate like teacher class where they told me how to like search for shit and whatnot.
That also makes sense. You know, I have a question for you. I know that your mom has got that beautiful singing voice, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously I've known your mom longer than you've known your mom. And I've known your dad much longer than you've. Yeah, I know, right? Trips a little bit, doesn't it? But I've been here a minute, all right?
See, I get all like high and haughty about like being 21. Sometimes I'm like, that's 2 decades. And then some people are like, oh yeah, well, I've been here for 7. And you're like,
well, so there.
Like, right. That's correct.
Why you gotta say 7? You know I haven't been here for 7 decades.
No, I understand. I went pretty far with the hyperbole.
You did, and it hurt.
You know?
Right in the feelings, sir. Right in the feelings. Okay, so here, I was saying your mom has that beautiful voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your dad is very, very musical also. So
Mm-hmm.
I know where the background is. I know that you've come from a very, very family. But
Yeah.
why did you decide that music was going to be it for you? Because you made a choice that was pretty deliberate. I'm going to just say this now. I was irritated when you were 10 years old and I had to listen to drum lessons in the summer. Your dad
Oh
would
my
call
God.
and he'd be like, "You need to make sure Keiran practices his drums." And I'm like, he's in my house. Why do I have to do it? This is terrible. It
You
sounds
would put me
bad
out on the back porch.
because that's just the kind of auntie I am. I'm like, go outside.
I don't understand why he made me do that for so long. That was like an hour a day or something, right? Was it
Yeah, no,
an hour or like half an hour?
it was like supposed to be a half hour, but then you'd kind of get into it after that amount. And I'm just like, just stay outside. Just don't come back
Uh
inside and bother me. Like, I got all these other kids to worry about. Just stay out there.
you know, I don't know why, but that's not like ever at the forefront of my mind when people are like, so do you like what do you ever like whatever instruments do you practice or play or anything? Like I did never ever remember the hand drum thing. What the hell?
And you had so many of them. Man, you had so many hand drums.
That's true.
I'm glad that you only brought one during the summertime. I'm like, this
No,
is
yeah.
gonna make my ears bleed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, continue.
No, but okay. So I remember the days of you practicing. But listen, a lot of kids take music lessons. Like, for example, I have taken music lessons. I don't play like you play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have a chance to really. You can be good at music, or you
Yeah.
can be like everybody else, which is close to mediocre, right?
Yeah.
So what was the impetus in your mind to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do?
Um, damn. Uh, I just been saying I was gonna do it for a while. Like I've been after Papa died, I started playing the guitar a lot
Hmm.
and like jamming out more and trying to write songs for myself. Like I remember when I played the drums and I played the piano, like I would jam out a lot, but I don't think I ever
I'm
wrote
pretty
a
sure
song.
those videos are still on YouTube. Just just of you singing happy birthday and doing little things. You guys were little. You were little.
Damn, damn. You have to send this to me sometime. But
No. Like, they're on your dad's page. That's all you got to know.
oh damn. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So, I yeah. I mean, like, I don't. It just felt like the right thing to do. You know, like
Mhm.
I started playing in high school, and I started going to like open mics and performing for like talent shows,
Mhm.
uh, like for the class and whatnot. And some of my like of course my classmates are really cool about it. They're like, "Yeah, you sound pretty good." It's like, "Hey, thank you." And I mean, they were my friends, so like I expected that
Mhm.
because they were nice people. Um, but then they would also tell me if I sounded like shit too. Like I did trust them to tell me if I was not good at what I was
Really? Your friends
trying
are
out.
brave enough to just say,
My friends now, hell yes. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's why I keep doing it.
yeah.
but but
They're like, out of a 10, I'd give you a 3.
yeah, like they're straight with me. Um, and I mean, so yeah, I mean, I can't really speak on my friends in high school. One, because I don't believe in talking shit about high school people, and two, because I really can't remember. Like, I mean, I don't remember really talking to them much about like my music stuff. Like I remember I was in choir, and like the people in choir were really complimentary and super supportive of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then my closer friends were like, yeah, well, if you have a voice, like wow, that's actually impressive. Like you actually have a singing voice. That's not something that everybody has. You should sing. And I was like, thanks,
Right.
guys. Damn.
Yeah.
And that was real. Um, and then I stayed in choir for a long time, and then I realized that I did not like choir because if I want to like know my own voice and like start trying to get to know how I want to sound, then it's really hard to do if you're trying to sing for the group, you know?
Oh,
And I
I
like
never
singing
thought
for the
about
group.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think, I mean, I really do admire like soloists who stand out in choirs, but I don't admire people who obviously should be pursuing their own musical endeavors and trying to be in the choir, because that takes away from the choral experience, in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
you're not, because I don't think you should be searching for spotlights in a position where everybody should be working together to create a beautiful sound, you know?
that is exactly
Um,
opposite of what I thought you were going to say. That's what I thought you meant to say, and yet I thought you were going to explain it the other way around, where it's like, yeah, you're dimming your own light to try to bring yourself down. I forget
oh
like
hell no.
how you're way more high-minded than I am. I like to exist right on the level of petty. That's why I'm like, yeah, you're turning down, man, to try to let these
Yeah.
other people hang out with you.
No, I mean, I mean, I guess like it is the kind of the same concept, you know, like
Mhm,
in a way that you, if you do feel, I mean, that I guess that kind of was the situation for myself, not in
mhm.
the way that I felt like I was like dimming my own light for, you know, the rest of the group or anything, but I did feel like I was like not investing some time in myself that I could be, and really like
Mhm.
um, practicing potential. You know, in high school was when I really started um, even thinking about like maximizing one's potential
Yeah,
on
yeah.
just things in general.
Mhm.
Um, and back then I was really thinking about like I was still in the like I need to finish my education first,
Right.
because music will always be around. But it turns out that so will education, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's true.
And
It's a lot of things that don't go
yeah.
anywhere, including elves. And so, yeah, there's time.
Yeah, and so um I what's it called? Fuck,
Also,
like
I
what
mean,
was
you
it?
took more time for, I do remember you taking voice lessons. I don't remember how old you were.
No, yeah, that was right, like pretty much right when it snapped with me that I wasn't really feeling it required anymore.
Mhm.
Um, because I was like, wow, like this is fun and I can harmonize and keep a tone and stuff and sing loud, but I don't really know what my voice sounds like, and I don't really want to sound like a freaking choir singer if I'm trying to write music for myself. Um,
You know what's hard is
and
that I know that from a choir director perspective, you were a bass, am I correct?
uh, yeah, baritone bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Eh, yeah.
Listen, coming from somebody who had to cover for the the baritones and the tenors, they're like, Pela, you got that man voice. Just drop it down. You can read their line, can't you? I know you can read bass clef. Go for it. I'm like, I just feel so feminine right now. I'm glad I'm
Thanks,
not
guys.
in high school.
See, that's the disadvantage to choir, like high school choir too, is like, you know, all the boys are like in the middle of their pubescent, like
Oh my
low
gosh.
voice. So
Usually it's
like
awful.
yeah, and their range is cut, you know, like my range is actually really, really accentuated since middle of high school to now.
Okay.
I do accredit that partially to the fact that I did go to, you know, some voice lessons and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like your range is just cut, like it's just shysta, like, you're complete trash in high school. And some people are blessed. Like there's some people in my choir who are like, you know, really hitting all them notes, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like that's crazy. Like how do you do that? But I was not feeling it. Also, choir did not imbue me with a lot of confidence, and that was self-imposed. You know, I think
How
that
do you
that just
figure?
happened.
I'm sorry. I'm
Um,
laughing so hard that my eyes are leaking. So I gotta keep. I'm not gonna corona myself. I'm just wiping the tears out.
but
Tell me about the self
uh
confidence bit.
uh uh which I just didn't feel like I've always had bad stage fright. Um,
Are you
eh,
serious?
yeah, like I
Are you
like on
serious?
yeah, like bad. Like
Okay.
I tried to take solos in choir, and I'd get up to the mic and my voice would shake. or I'd sing my solo like an octave off and have to like hit like falsetto notes and shit, dude. It was crazy. I try to sing
I
Man in the
don't want to
Mirror
laugh at
by Michael Jackson.
and be in the wrong octave.
I was like, oh, looking for the man in the mirror. Like I was looking around, like, I'm searching. Like my friend Evan had to slide in and like finish the solo for me.
I feel like somebody forgot to call me and tell me about that.
It's so bad.
I live for these moments. You know what? I get my entire life from when you guys are doing these things. If it was a perfect performance, I'd be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't tell me. but the ones where...
Yeah, don't tell me.
Yeah. Tell me about those ones. You know what? My mind is blown because obviously I've known you from the day you were born, right? And I don't know Shy Keiran. I've never seen Shy Keiran. I do recognize that you have always had the freedom to be like big shiny star Keiran with the family and with me. I absolutely adore you. So yeah, it makes sense. Even though I'll catch you if you try to step out of line. But
that's true.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is going to be one interesting interview. We laughed the whole time. Listen, this is the little kid Keiran that I can clearly remember. We were, and I think I've told you the story like I hope 10 million times, but we went to visit the cousins of your cousins. That's the easiest way to say it. So the children who are cousins to my kids on their dad's side, right? And of course, since you spend every summer with me, so you were there with us, and this, like, you were like turning these like ninja flips everywhere, right? Just everywhere for no reason. You were showing off. I knew you were showing off, but you like would just jump and do like a spin. I don't know. It was just ninja stuff. And the other kid, and you're like, look, check this out, and then you jump out of the tree. Look, check this out, and all these really cool tricks. And the other kid spun in a circle, like was wicked dizzy. Whoa, look at me. Like, there is a marked difference here. But I laughed because that kid was like so happy to just spin in a circle and you were actually doing ninja tricks. So I was rolling my eyes at you, but I tell you what, that's the Keiran that I'd say you say you're shy, and I'm like, shy what? What are we talking about right now?
See, no, it's because I have you to back me up and both moderate me at the same time. So my confidence is just through the roof because I'm technically like
badass,
undefeatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you'll be there to be like, that's pretty cool. And then I know you'll also be there to be like, man, stop that.
I know. And take a couple seats if you would.
yeah, no. See, when you're on, when I was in choir, I don't even speak for a general anybody, but and I don't know what it was, but I'd get in my head, you know, like the pressure would mess with me. I wouldn't sing full voice as well. Like my stage voice was really shitty because I'd start singing to like the end of the stage, and you like instead of like to the audience, yeah, exactly. So like the reality is like I wasn't using enough breath, and I like my voice would shake, and it was just a bad situation altogether, honestly.
But thank goodness for Evan.
Yeah. Yeah, praise.
Save us all.
Shouts out Evan Stanfield. He's doing stuff with his life nowadays.
That's awesome. So how did that lead to voice lessons? Was voice lessons, was that your idea or was that somebody else's idea?
Oh man.
I felt like your mom took it with you at the same time. Did she?
I feel like it might have come from mom. Maybe she suggested it. Shit. But I'm sorry. Is cursing a no-go on this? I'm very sorry.
Did
Did
you
you
hear me
slip
say that
out?
you were badass? Because I think I said
Uh,
that. And now
okay,
twice.
true. Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate the green light. But
Let's just keep it real. Let's just,
but
keep it a
yeah,
buck, right?
I just don't want to be caught saying freaking seriously, you know?
Freaking right.
That's not it.
First of all,
But
I don't have that kind of time to edit. And second of all, what you say is what we get.
okay, thank you. But oh shoot, the
Voice
question.
lessons. Voice
Voice
lessons.
lessons.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that it might have come from mom because we did like a church choir with this guy Stevie Springer, Dr. Stevie Springer, my bad.
Mhm.
And he's both a family friend and also like a musical genius type guy. Um,
Which is all of your family friends, just in case you're wondering. Right?
right?
Pretty
Right.
highbrow. All of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. Like he's got his stuff going. He takes like
Hmm.
a class of his students to Carnegie Hall like every couple years.
Nice.
And yeah, but what's it called? I was still in choirs like senior year, I think.
Hmm.
And hmm, damn, yeah, I think it must have come from mom because I don't remember just being like, I think I want to take some voice lessons.
Right. Right.
Because she might have suggested it because that was definitely when I started. Yeah, so smart mom because I started just going and like performing places, and I was still trying to work over um my my stage fright, but
Oh,
I was getting curious as to how to like use my voice because the more I performed, like the more I'd see these other people who like had real like confident control of their vocals, which
yeah.
is like really inspiring because there are still like people my age who had just been doing it themselves, and so I was like, damn, like
Like
I could do
I
that.
could
Like,
I could get there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, so I went and started taking lessons, and Doctor, shouts out to that guy. Dr. Stevie Springer is a freaking genius, and he like helped me. He just helped me one with like my confidence. Like he'd sit there and actually hype me up. He'd be like, "You have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Like you sound good," and I'd be like, "Oh, thank
Right.
you."
And when you start to consider the source of those compliments, then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
No, he knows
exactly.
what
Because
he's talking about. Yeah.
precisely. Because I had been getting compliments from my peers, which is,
It's
like
nice, but
it
again,
is. It's
it's considered
mm-hmm,
the source, right? Yeah.
because they're your peers, and I'm not saying that it's expected. I feel like that sounds it sounds kind of entitled to say that it's expected of your peers to like
Hmm.
compliment you, but it's like not like something you directly expect from your peers, like,
Right.
but it's something that you're gonna like. People are kind, so you kind of see that coming from your
I
peers.
don't know those people, but that sounds good.
Yeah. The
No,
people that I'm blessed to have in my atmosphere of support are very kind, and in that situation they were also very kind, and so I was
hmm.
imbued with that confidence, just knowing that they'd be like down to listen. But
Right.
also it was really nice knowing that somebody who'd been practicing this and teaching other people for a long time and had put like real
A lifetime of
objective.
effort into learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could
Hmm,
also hear
hmm.
that you had potential and talent. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, like I'll keep at it, like I really love like I mean I tripped I did a lot of psychedelics at the same time and I fell in love with music. Let me tell you, like there was a point in time where like I was just like this I was in this weird mentality, man, where I was like music is everything, like super super just like hippie type status stuff, and I wasn't really writing a lot of music, but I
Uh-huh.
was just like playing a lot of songs and kind of I feel like that really helped me just get more connected with music in a way that is different and made me feel in it. um
That's so
but
interesting. Because you're 21. So for
yeah,
all of this stuff to have happened, when did it happen?
uh be, between the time I turned like 17 to 18. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Now, see, there you go.
yeah,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. Give up your secrets. It's fine
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah. Or maybe 18 to 19.
It was somewhere early
Between
in there. Yeah.
yeah, definitely super early. I mean, I started taking voice lessons definitely when I was 17,
Hmm.
I think. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Frank. Maybe I was 18. No, it was definitely 18 to 19 for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
I feel like
I can't.
your music turned somewhere around 19 and 20. Like it
Yeah, yeah.
changed. It changed and it went from being good to being I would listen to this. Because of course,
Yes.
as your auntie, my job is to be like, no, I can hear that you're going places with this. You're not there. But you're going places.
I remember when Maha just outed you in the freaking car to me. We were just
I
driving
think
along. We were just driving along, and Maha looks at me and he's like, "Hey, Keiran," and it's like, "What?" And he's like, "Mom doesn't like the way you sing." And I was like, "What?"
you know what?
I was like,
Because it was Sunday and we went and got Mexican food and we were all sitting like, shut up, Ma. I remember feeling like I should backpedal, and I tried for a couple seconds, and I'm like, screw it. Right? Like, not that I don't like the way you sing, it was the song or something, I don't know.
No, I just remember sitting there and being like, you gotta have one. You gotta have someone.
No. We both played that off because you never showed that like I even touched your heart. Oh, look, the Amazon lady's honking at people. But I just tried to pretend like Ma didn't say it. I'm like, we're good. We're still straight. We're good. And then you did spend the rest of the time at my sister's house, so that made sense too.
Hey, there was at your sister's house, okay?
Now you're gonna make me edit. I can't leave that in there. Put it on my your answer.
Oh right. No, there was kids my
Coffee.
age there.
There you go. That was a good summer. That was a good summer.
It was. That was a good summer, dang.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. How many songs are you going to do for us today? I assume you're going to sing. Are you going to sing?
Yeah, sure. How many should I do?
As many as you want, not past 3.
Okay. That's perfect. Okay, yeah.
Like, I just don't want to, like have a whole album on here. Because then what would people have to come and find you for, right?
Yeah, yeah, precisely.
Make your heart feel happy and hurt all at the same time.
I think 3 is the perfect number. I'll do the one song that people have actually like hit me up about and like recognized me for.
Is it Garden?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that song.
And then I'll do one that I like playing a lot, and then I'll just do one that I just wrote.
Ooh, okay.
I'm working on a.
How long does it take for you to set up to play Garden for us?
I mean, I was just gonna play it acoustically.
Oh, sweet. Let me tell you about this. First of all, your little cousin, the one that's named after you, Ma'a, my son, he loves your song so much that he just keeps it on repeat. But he has everybody, he has passwords to everyone's phone. So he'll set everyone's phone up to automatically play Garden as soon as they open up the music for whatever. And the one person who didn't know how to change any of that back is your grandma. So the minute you turn on her car and her car connects to her phone, all of a sudden you hear that opening riff and everybody knows. Right? And she's like, I just keep watering my garden. And I kid you not when I tell you it has been a solid 6 months that happens every time she turns on the car.
So you guys are the ones who keep giving me listens. I'll open it.
Got your Apple Music down.
I'll like open up the app and it'll say like 2 people listening. And I'm like, who the hell are you? Like at this point, like
you call your grandma and be like, did you just get in the car?
So where are you headed?
I can tell that you're on the road.
Oh my goodness, that'd be so creepy. He's like, hey, Grandma, where you headed? He's like, how did you
How do
know?
you know? Oh, Keiran. Oh, that's my baby.
Where are you?
I just can't with you. It's the summation of our relationship. It's either pain or it's constant laughing.
Hey man, I think it's I feel like the laughing has really taken the scale
Yeah,
as I've gotten older, because you don't have to discipline me anymore.
I really
You know what I'm
don't.
saying?
And I really don't even care to. That's the best part. I'm like, hey, do you? Whatever you come up with, that's what we're doing.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Although I did recount the other day to my kids when, do you remember the summer? I think you were 7 and you guys came to stay. That's when Tui was brand new. He's just a couple weeks old.
Yeah.
I said, that boy ate so many granola bars in his room and hid them. And then the mice got in the house because he had so many. That was you. That was you. I was so mad. But that's okay. Because a couple things, we got rid of the mice and we don't live there anymore. So, and I'm never giving you a granola bar again.
You didn't give that to me. No, I would steal them in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And for
No, that
what?
was my move. That was my move. I did that at home. I did that at any house I slept at, actually, except for my friend's house. No, I think I did that at my friend's house once.
You ate a stick of butter at some point. You did. It was at your own house. It wasn't at my house. I mean, here's all you gotta be is the grown up, and you have to be the child for me to remember what you did.
I do remember my favorite snack was just buttered bread. So I can see how it just translates to some butter.
To eating a stick of butter.
That's disgusting.
That was straight up you, sir. That was straight up you.
Man, people do things.
Right, people. You're the one who did things. Okay, go ahead and grab your guitar. I want to hear the song. I'm going to mute my mic so that it doesn't pick up anything on my end. By the way, in case I didn't mention this, I really love you.
I love you.
Look at you checking your hair. Look at you.
Yeah, of course. There we go.
Let your dad know about that hairline. Let him know. Let him know.
Hey, man. It's been in a constant regression since high school, so.
But you still got the beard.
I don't flex enough. I do have a better beard than Dad, except for his is full right here.
Mine right here only. Right here only. I know my brother. All right, here goes my mic.
Okay.
All right, this is Keiran. What do you go by? Do you ever go by Keiran from Kid Plastic? What is it? What do you go by?
It's just Kid Plastic.
Kid Plastic. I love the plastic kids. Kid Plastic. All right. Okay. Performing for us, Garden.
Oh, right. I was going to do a different song first.
I'm totally lying. Performing for us, whatever he wants to sing. You introduce it. How about that?
All right. And I'm going to have to take these off.
Okay.
This is called Switch Up. What's the switch up now? Been wondering for a while now. Should have seen it coming. Then again, how could anyone? I'm laughing at myself. It's getting bad for my health now. Maybe I should put out. Getting tired and I'd rather just sit back for a minute. Try not to be left when I'm feeling in it. I could reel you in with some real shit real quick. Ain't got time for new beginnings. I don't pull myself out for far too long. Shooting these L shots for far too long. Every other kiss trying to turn to a song, but I keep the shit crisp when I'm trying to right wrongs, right? So I don't fight it, no fright, just ignite it. If I really wanna get a little bitty game on the next flame, that's fire. For the next line, so I put another name down from the same town. Ain't really clear how we feeling now, but we got lots in common. I'ma keep my head down, dodge the cannon fodder. What's the switch of now? Wondering for a while now. Should have seen it coming, but then again, how could anyone? I'm laughing at myself. It's getting bad for my health now. Feeling the need to shout. Getting tired of the messages. I could feel it coming. Little something missing when I dived in and started giving. Women, she said, baby, don't you be distant. We got this moment, minute for roots to grow, but we missed it. But I still wish I would've kissed it one last time. The way the life out my men didn't on these lines. I brought myself back to arm's length, and I like it just fine. A part of me wants to lean in, but I don't want to miss the sign. About this and about that, rather not drop back while I'm in a bag. Cop, crap, for a little kiss. It's a hit or miss like a flip switch. Rather just slip around in my drip it. We can stick around, maybe hit a bit, then I'm back, yeah. Little switch up, then I've had a second miss. Got you feeling worse. Oh boy, that was rough.
Did you feel like it was rough?
That was very rough.
Why? Why is that? I liked it.
I'm glad you like it, but no, I used to play it on my electric, but I also haven't played any songs today, so that was the warm-up song. So
now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I promise this time I'm ready.
I promise I'm ready. No, that was a very angry song that I wrote when I was angry.
What were you angry about?
You're run of the mill, just dude stuff, you know, man. I was there's.
I mean, I know it's confusing,
romantic
but I've
situation.
never been a dude, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, help me out.
No, it was just a kind of a like an anti-love song, you know what I'm saying? I read a lot of those, like instead of doing romantic stuff, like I'd rather just be chilling out.
Well,
Usually by myself or with my friends.
Send me names.
Oh, I'm not. What the? Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding. Don't drop a pin. Don't do any of that, because then I'm liable.
Yeah.
But
yes.
What's her name? Tell me about him.
No. It was just a situation where I ended up having to kind of learn a lot more about myself and really deciding how I wanted to, present myself as a person and what I was, willing to accept within myself. And it ended up being everything that I'd already accepted within myself. So it was more of a
was very interesting. It was very interesting. Guess how much I know now versus when you started to explain that?
Yeah, none.
Nothing.
That's the point. No.
But at least break down what you mean by you figured out how you wanted to present yourself. What was happening what did you not feel comfortable with that you later figured out, no, this is it?
Well, no, it was actually a situation where I was already super comfortable with, it was a matter of my sexuality. I identify as bisexual. Mm-hmm. And what's it called? I was seeing this woman, and things were going fine, but I don't know, like when I tell people about myself, I usually do say that off top, like
yes,
like when I'm just meeting somebody. I guess it's kind of important for a lot of people,
mm-hmm.
but sometimes I don't let it slip off top because it's not a part of the conversation.
It doesn't feel like there's nowhere to insert that.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess off the bat, before we started like seeing each other like more seriously, I hadn't mentioned it. And so when one day we're just like chilling out and I say it and I like it was super like sidelong, like I just mentioned it as a part of a story and it ended up being super like a big thing. Like it just changed the entire dynamic of whatever the relationship was. And that ended up being kind of like a what a teller for me, like I should actually be a little bit more like cautious with who I I trust myself with and
Mhm.
who I should spend my time with and decide like who's actually deserving of that kind of knowledge of myself.
I just want you to
Um,
know I know who you're talking about because this was about 2 years ago. And I remember, you think I can't read your drama through Instagram, but I can, friend. As quiet as
what
you
the
are, you
fuck?
have been my baby from day one. Keep going.
No, but this was in the last year though.
Was it? Okay, she was blonde.
Yeah.
Let's just go with
What the fuck? No, she wasn't blonde though.
look at how you protecting your sources. It's fine. I'm totally kidding. But go back to this. So you
Now I'm
felt like,
thinking the 2 years back with blondes. Who the fuck are you talking about?
no, don't even worry about it. I know I'm wrong.
Okay, okay. You can't mess with my brain like that. I was like, damn, have I had multiple run-ins with bad people? But
Listen, adult Keiran versus little kid Keiran, we can have totally different conversations now. Right?
yeah, no. So it was it just ended up being very like it did take some time because I was like, I mean, I feel like with especially just the positioning of like the
Mhm.
present, like but sexuality in general is like on a rise. Like people are more accepting of different sexualities and whatnot.
Right,
But
right.
I mean, there is a such thing as like bisexual erasure, and a lot of people like to like just stop, like just stop being bisexual at a certain point in their lives. I
Mhm.
guess, just like kind of sucks because like if you don't do that, then like I guess it takes a lot of the I don't know. I don't have all the knowledge on the subject that I guess I should. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I just happen to be a certain way.
Right,
And
right.
what's it called? There's a lot of like modern wise. There's a lot of like talk on just like well deciding like if you're bi then why don't you just choose a side, like why don't you just decide to be gay or decide to be straight. And so for a while I was like damn, maybe I should just make the decision. Like after that I was like yeah, I should just choose. And then it hit me like what the hell dude, like you can't just sit here and fucking choose like what you happen to look
How
at and
you
what you
feel?
happen to think is beautiful,
Yeah.
like because I mean like I do know I happen to I do spend a lot of time thinking about it, and I think I understand the bounds of my own sexuality pretty well.
Mhm.
But I don't see myself ever being romantically involved with men, or like I don't really ever think about getting with men either because I'd rather just admire them. Like it is a like a funky part of myself, and I accept that. And it's hard to explain to people because people are like, well, that's impossible. Like you can't just be with
You
it.
know
But
what? How about this? No matter how impossible it seems to anybody, it doesn't erase the reality.
no,
It doesn't
exactly.
change anything, right? No matter
And
what
that's
somebody else's opinion is, and what did
mhm.
it change in your mind, right?
No, nothing. Exactly. Like that. That's what it really boiled down to. Is
Mhm.
like I had like a whole time where I was like, shit. Like, do I need to change like for the kind of people that I do want to be with? And I was like, well, shit. I don't want to be with the kind of person that's
I
gonna
was
be a
gonna
fucking
say, I
like.
already disapprove. Whoever came in, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say no.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna
No.
say,
It's right.
put the kibosh on
It,
that relationship. Let's all move on together.
exactly. And I'm very thankful for my friends as well because they were like, "What the fuck, man? Like, no, like you should be accepted by whoever you happen to be interested in, and you shouldn't have
Mhm.
to think about changing yourself at all." But I was like, "Damn, okay, well, I guess I should
There's a lot of hurt that comes into people's lives because
help."
of conformity.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like I talked to my therapist about it and shit, and he was like,
Mhm.
"Dog, like he was baffled. Like he was like that's so behind the times, like I
Mhm.
can't like I he's an older guy and he was like I haven't met anybody who's like on that level of bigotry since I was young, you know
Right,
and I was like
right.
it sucked because like I couldn't just go and confront this person and be like, you're a fucking bigot. Like, I'm not like,
Mm-hmm.
they still want to be friends. Like, that's how the conversation came up. They're like, I think you're an amazing person.
Which
And
is true.
yeah, I agree. I think I'm awesome. And they're
Even though I
they're
keep
like,
you in check, it's good.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
the thing about it is, okay, from the outside, let me just tell you, from the
mhm.
outside, I see people admire you and I see people want to be around you. And it's always been that way. It's never not been that way. Even when you lost your skateboard in the bushes because you thought you'd come back, people still thought you were great. And I was like, that little boy, what is wrong with him? But the other people are very drawn to you. And I think that sometimes, you know, it sucks to think that they're going to miss out. Not, it doesn't suck for me. I don't even think it sucks for you. I think it sucks for them to think the way that I think and feel is going to make me miss out on this guy.
Yeah, that kind of, thank you for saying that. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I don't mean to
Aren't you
come
glad
off.
that I already spent like a smooth 30 minutes like kicking you in the throat so that it's
Yeah.
legit when I'm
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah. No, seriously, thank you for saying that. And uh I have trouble, like I feel like I have trouble speaking on it, on things like that, because like it's really hard not to sound like a fucking, like a
To sound
dickhead, you know, like,
self-absorbed. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a self-absorbed piece of shit, because I don't, I really don't think of myself like that, and I try to invest in practices that, make me otherwise.
Right.
Um,
Which is also why
um,
people like you. I'm just going to say it.
um, and consequently, yeah, I think that isn't effective. Some of my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it kind of dawned on me, because with this entire situation, like throughout the entire, like it ended up being like this year-long span of bullshit. Like we start, like straight up, like we were just sleeping together. And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's like what I kind of wanted to be at. Like I have then I was in a point, and currently I'm now at a point. I feel like I've worked on myself since then, but at that point, I was in no place to be like looking around romantically, and I wasn't trying to.
Right.
But just that interaction where like they did want to like keep me in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
but they wanted to dismiss me because of this one actually pretty pertinent aspect of myself. It's like this. It's weird because it was likely to be the least like effective on their life and like on our interaction. Like, in speaking on aspects of myself, like it's one of the least pertinent, I think. Like it's not, I don't walk
It
around being
doesn't
like
it doesn't
I'm
make
a
you.
bisexual man, like I'm a dude who is like this, and y'all should know that. Like, no, I don't flaunt that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it's a part of myself that I'm proud of, because it's part of me and I'm proud of me.
Right.
But in, you know overall presentation, like I don't flaunt any part of myself except for the stuff that I make. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, check out this art.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's because I love art. But it just turned into this, like it was such a stupid development, because that was my conclusion at the end. It was like, yeah, like some people are gonna be kind of shitty and like want to be in, be around me,
Mm-hmm.
but like they probably shouldn't, like for the sake of myself, like that's not something that I should have in my presence. And it was weird, because like they want to be friends afterward, and I was like, hell no, frick no, like that's stupid. But of
Yeah.
course, because I'm like a dude who gets horny sometimes, I had like, well, maybe I should go back, like maybe I should go back. And so it turned into this like endless development where like we were just like talking, all like we'd like like she'd hit me up or I'd hit her up like once every like 3 or 4 months, and it
Mm-hmm.
was super super unhealthy. Like I never saw her again until like recently, where she was like, I just need to, like, I want to see you and come and lay all this shit out. And my conclusion was like what you said, like some people just want to like be around. Like I speak on that too, because there are people out there who like do way cooler shit than me, and I want to be around them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I can't be, because of different life dynamics, and that's just how it is, or something like
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like we met, and they pretty much reiterated everything that we've been talking about over the course of the year. And it was just like, it was kind of bullshit, because it wasn't really anything new, and it wasn't anything that was actually like,
There was no progress. Progress
yeah,
in
no,
thinking,
like,
progress in the
mhm,
relationship, progress in.
yeah, because my
Yeah.
main thing was um like all I asked for was like like a legitimate apology for judging me like that, for deciding to for seeing necessity and like a change in dynamic because of how I hold myself and how I view the world. Like that's a clash in paradigms, you know.
Right.
Um and there was never like, when I really like read into it and like looked at the text and listened to what they were saying to me, like to my face, there was never any like apology for doing that. It was more of like, sorry to cause any trouble, like type stuff. And I was like, wait, when I really read into it, I was like, damn, like you never apologized for like what I asked you to apologize for that would, you know, make any sort of relationship between us plausible again. Because I told them I wouldn't be their friend. I was like, I can't be friends with somebody who's like that. Like I can't be friends with you.
Yeah.
And then like after, you know, being a fucking hormonal man, and, you know, kind of dismissing red flags, and talking to them, it did seem like we were talking on friend terms again, and I had to like reignite those boundaries. I was like, shit, like you're not cool. like this was all for naught. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
yeah. And you know, okay, I recognize that my feelings towards you are a lot more protective, right? But in reality, people can be toxic to anybody. Anybody can be toxic to somebody else, right?
No, exactly. Like I mean, I think I'm a pretty decent person, but somebody could think of me as like the worst presence in their place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's all based on how they feel about you. That is the truth, right?
And that's something to accept.
Yeah, and the thing is, if she is the kind of person who, when you look at it, you feel offended, you don't feel good about some of the things that have gone down, and those things have never healed, then at some point you either say, hey, we're fixing this, or we got to be done. And you got to be done so that you don't just have toxicity leaking into your life day in, day out.
And lingering too,
yeah, because it
like
festers.
Residuals.
It doesn't just stay at one level. It gets worse.
100%. And you know, like I like, I wish them to, you know, when I think of them on like a universal level, no, I don't wish them ill, and I do wish them the best, because when we did speak, you know, they spoke of growth and how they've been working on themselves and whatnot. But I feel like it is an aspect of like not really facing the problem as it was. Like they didn't want to accept the fact that they had like actually kind of acted like a bigot, which is, you know, genuine.
I mean, it was a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. You like, no matter how you approach the situation, like actions are actions, no matter their intentions. And so like the way that they acted and the way that they, you know, moved forward presented those facts, you know.
That is a big thing that you just said. Actions are actions regardless of intention. I know you didn't say regardless, but regardless is my word. Not irregardless, because that's not a word, but regardless, right?
Yeah.
So how did you come to that conclusion? How did you figure out that, like, regardless of what you did, regardless of what your intention was, what you did actually did cause the next step? Because it's hard to hold people responsible for the things they do, because I mean, and it's equally as hard to hold yourself responsible for the choices you make.
Yeah.
But those two seem to always come together. It's like, when I'm actually holding you responsible for the things that you actually did, the stuff that actually hurt, that I can't just keep sweeping away, then also I have to recognize this is my part. This is my part, my contribution. So when did you come to terms with that?
With that, just like as an idea?
That concept, yeah.
Probably when when we had that conversation with Dad and Jared the other night, it's probably the same answer, you know, like I when I went to therapy and just like started asking questions like, why the fuck do people do shit, you know, like really, like why do people do things? And it's usually it's like, I mean, people don't usually have the intent of the effect that their actions, you know, really, you know, exactly, that they're the effect that their actions have on people. And I just think that's just like a human nature thing, you know, like we think a lot, like, but we don't always think about things holistically and all the way through, especially in reference to other people, and ourselves in juxtaposition to other people. So
do you think that'll have an effect on the kind of music you write?
I think it pretty much dictates the everything about how I write now.
When did you write that song?
Which song?
The one you
this one?
that one.
It was a while. It took a long it took a while to finalize it. Like I started it probably back in like September,
Mhm.
and then I finished it in like November. Um, and I was just like over the course of multiple developments of that entire situation. So there was many drafts of the verse and stuff, and like uh, yeah, just overall, just I mean, like I even changed up the ending of the first verse like in December, I think.
Mhm.
Because I feel like what I wrote at first was a little bit hateful, and then no, what I first wrote was just like off point. Like it wasn't really it wasn't about anything. Like I was just trying to
It's
write
like,
bars, honestly.
okay.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
that sounds tight. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know what I'm
literally
saying. Yeah,
100%.
baby, I
And
know you.
yeah. And yeah, so I don't know. I didn't want it to be a hateful song, but I
And
did
it's
want it to be
the way you rub your eyes, such a Freeman
yeah.
mannerism. The way your hand, yeah. Anyway, it's a real thing.
Yeah, I noticed that I wipe my eyes like that because we wipe our eyes really, and it's kind of weird. Like,
Like you're planning on rubbing your eyeball into the back of
yeah,
the
literally.
room.
I
Yeah.
know. I was like, damn, I do that too. Is that what it looks like? Like,
And you scratch your head like your grandma, like you're gonna tear out your hair because you're frustrated. That's the only time you guys scratch your head is when you're mad or frustrated. Yeah, those are the.
yeah, because I mean, I only, I
Are
only,
you trying to say something to me?
no, I'm like experimenting in the way that I scratch my head, and it's pretty like stressy, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But no, I mean, that song is not only about that one situation. Like I hate writing songs about one specific
One thing.
situation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like that's just the downfall of every artist ever is like they write a song that's like way too detailed, and then the person's like, "What the fuck did you say that about me?" Like to the entire planet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what you're taking to the studio. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, like, so that's what you were doing when you said you were recording in the studio that one time. You were literally just shitting on me,
Right.
you know. So and the one time that I did write a song like for one person, it sucked. It sucked. Like the song sucked. Like it started out pretty groovy and sick, and then I tried to like write some real verses to it and like make them sound. It's so shitty.
Maybe that's the one that Ma was talking about. Maybe that's the one.
I hadn't even written that yet.
Okay, whatever. I can't speak to these things, okay? I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you then. I really want to hear you play Garden. That is one of my
Okay.
favorite songs. What was the third song that you were planning on sharing with us?
Um. It's called. It's gonna be on a project called Quarantine Chronicles.
Oh, tell
And
me
I don't know
about
what
that.
this first song is gonna be called. It might just be called. Uh.
Day 369. Because it feels like
Maybe I should just do it by days because I'm really struggling with song names. Like it's literally this project is just about like what I've been doing in quarantine and the thoughts I've been having in quarantine. So it's not very deep at
oh,
all.
fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Oh, know
um,
that you've forgiven me if you name it 369.
all right. I'll play Garden for you.
Before you do, tell me about the song. I love that
About
song.
Garden.
Yeah.
I think that it's probably just it's very much in line with like what we're talking about. Like I wrote it for myself. It was like right when I started getting ready to move out from mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like right on the like downhill from this huge like tumultuous climax that we'd had in the house at that point, because things were super duper rough all of a sudden. Well, not all of a sudden, honestly. They did building, and
it just kind of escalated.
Yeah, it escalated as like a situation where it was obvious that I needed to be at the house for myself because I just wanted to be at the house, but also I needed to be at the house for everybody else's growth. Like it was not helping my like mom and I's relationship for me to still be in the house. And I felt like I just wanted to give Avi some more space too, because Avi's amazing. Like
yeah, I'm gonna second that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know how to go beyond that, but if there's anything I can ever do to see, ensure more growth on Avi's part, or more space that she might need, then I'm gonna do that. And it felt like really, really that me getting out of the house would help mom focus more on raising Avi. Because as the first son, I feel like and really like reaching adulthood and finally figuring out like my own ideas and stuff, I feel like it was just a lot of like literal idyllic space just taken up in the house, like a lot of like clashing of.
It does become a situation of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's the same for almost everybody. I mean, it feels very unique and it feels very like tumultuous in the house, but like every family, it's like, okay, now there are too many grown folks here. One of y'all's got to get out.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Since I'm the grown folk that was here first, you get out.
Yeah, and I was ready to go. So, it was kind of in. I started writing that like right in like the down of everything, where everything was like, all right, so Keiran is leaving. Like, I just finished my therapy as well. I just finished like the work that I had gone to therapy to work on. Like what I realized was like something in myself that needed to be dealt with for the sake of like my future had been dealt with. And mom had
congratulate you on therapy, because for most people, they don't figure out that there's some stuff they got to deal with until they're right at their early 30s. And then they have to spend a decade trying to figure out what went wrong for the first 30 years of their life.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so, I mean, you got to jump on it for sure.
I was just like, I'm just reaching decade 2. I feel like I can figure out decade 1, like figure out what went on there and how I can go forward with the rest of it.
I think the best part of therapy is that for a lot of cases, you find out that people are just doing the best they can with what they know, and they might not know everything.
Exactly.
And so a lot of it wasn't necessarily intentional, but you still have to hold them responsible for the choices they make.
Exactly.
And then move on.
That's the
that was a real big glance over a lot of things, but still.
No, I mean, I feel like that's pretty much the perfect like summarization, is to like, how it all goes down, especially if you're going to therapy because of somebody. Like, I mean, speaking on that conversation that Dad and I were having, where he was like, no, I take the blame. I was like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, I do give you responsibility, but sitting around and blaming oneself it's never good. And we did have a conversation. Exactly. And we talked about it afterward, and he kind of like, I think he understood what I was getting at. But
I thought you guys might have had a conversation, because then he was calling me back and I'm like, oh, sir, I'm not ready. I'm going to wait before I take this call. I need that whole situation to just simmer back down.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Instant emotion sesh. But
I am the Ave to Keiran. Yeah, the Pela to Zach is the Ave to Keiran. So yes, yeah. You and I, we get a lot of understanding here.
100%. 100%. Yeah, but it was so I therapy is something I thank for. It was a must, definitely. Because I would be sitting here. I mean, you saw me before I started really going and getting into the shit with my therapist. Like I almost hated that. Like it was bad.
I knew that, and I knew that it would eventually affect the relationship that you and I had too. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we still have each other. That means a lot. Yeah.
Me too. I don't want to lose my family, because I could feel myself being resentful enough to do so. Like whether you want to do it or not, like your tendencies and
hate
the
to
way that
tell
you
you,
really,
but
really
we're all
feel.
like that.
Yeah.
All of us are like, and the worst part is that and I'm saying too much, but between me and my brothers, it's the same personality in 3 different people.
Yeah,
So
and you
one
guys
of
just
us
gave
gets
that to
on your
Ava and I.
nerves. Yeah, I know. That means all of us are going to get on your nerves. We all know that. We know that. And
Yeah,
that stubborn, I'm done with you. We all have it.
yeah,
So it's not like we're not
yeah.
surprised when somebody else feels that way back.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for keeping it all together for us. So
Of
letting
course,
us
of
still be
course.
family. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm glad to be around for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, it's helped Dad and I's relationship, and you know, all around.
It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy because like it is like what you said. Like people just make mistakes. Like it really is like about the action and the intent, and like you can forgive people's intentions and act. I mean, you can forgive people's um intentions and whatnot, but you can't like forget people's actions,
Right.
and
You
you can
can't
forgive them.
erase the effect of those actions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. There we go, much better put. But
Oh, what? Did I up you on the word game? Ugh.
I have bad times with phrases sometimes.
No, you don't ever. So there's that.
But yeah, so I started writing this because mom was uh it was like for me and also for mom, because one, we'd started planting her garden, and I was sincerely hoping that these like fucking flowers would bloom. And I also like in therapy there's like this step after you start really after you finish like the reprocessing and the the reprocessing is where you like come to better understandings and new ideas about the bad situation, and where you substantiate yourself and like pretty much growth ideals. And so there's this part where like I guess a lot of people start to like describe themselves as feeling like a caterpillar turning into like a butterfly, or like feeling like a flower blooming. And so a lot of people have like this some sort of, you know, metaphorical relation to something that grows and sprouts like that, coming out of therapy. I didn't. I just felt really good. I was just like, damn, I feel like, you know, I feel like I can take on the world because I suddenly have competence and confidence in my brain.
Right. And a paradigm shift and better goggles to see the world through. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I did. I mean, I did really love the metaphor. I mean, I've always loved flowers and gardens and whatnot. And mom had been playing this song called I think it might just be called Bloom. But it's like, I hope your flowers bloom. I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. And I was just like, that's fucking cool. Like, you know, like, yeah, you know, I do hope, you know, for myself, I hope I grow up to be everything that I want to be, as, you know, as I figure that out, as I grow and whatnot.
Right.
And I hope, you know, whatever seeds I plant, as
it flourishes.
Yeah, you know, I do. I hope to flourish. And in reference to my mom, like I pretty much yelled at her. I was like, you need to go to therapy, or I'm not going to talk to you straight up. Like, you need to fucking take care of yourself, or I'm not going to talk to you. And I told her to put Ave in therapy too. And Dad had been going to therapy, but yeah, I was just like, I want to see you grow. Like, you know, I feel this new sense of confidence in myself because I went and dealt with the shit that was really on my fucking mind, that was weighing on my soul.
Yeah.
And I can, like, you know, like once, like you can kind of see it in people, you know, like when you can see it in somebody when something is truly weighing on their spirit or on their soul or on their, you know, just on themselves, you know, speaking on the metaphysical or on the freaking person themselves. Like, you can see when somebody's goddamn stressed.
Yeah.
Chronically, like for a lengthy amount of time.
Right.
And
it's written on your face for sure.
Yeah, it becomes, it literally becomes your face. You develop stress lines. People get crow's feet.
Yeah.
And um, speaking of myself, but
I'm like, hang on, let me just smooth all these lines back
yeah.
out. I'm not stressed. Don't even worry about it.
It's like, what do you say? No, but uh, it because I feel like it becomes like, not even that. Like it just started to like make me sad to see mom sad, like, and
Mm-hmm.
to see her so angry, and just, it was a lack of contentment, with
With life
everything.
in general, huh?
Yeah, with life, and I didn't feel like I was helping by just like sticking around in the house and having all these like fucking
Grown people problems in her
yeah, grown
space.
people. Yeah, exactly, because she had her grown
One of
people
y'all gotta
problem.
go, and it's gonna be you.
Yeah, exactly, and I just wanted to, wherever I was going, I wanted to make sure that I could keep my head, and I don't know, music always helped me do that, so I started writing that.
Sweet. Well, let's hear it.
And my friend Blair also helped me with the lyrics as well.
Your friend
I
who?
want to talk.
Sorry, the
My friend,
name.
Blair.
Blair.
Yeah.
So shouts out
So,
to Blair and Evan.
shout out.
Twice.
Yeah. I don't really know Evan, so
No,
shouts out to
Evan.
Blair.
Evan, he saved you in high school. Leave it to me to not
My
forget
man in the
stuff.
mirror.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna mute. Go for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and play Garden for you. I've been watering my garden, always hoping that my flowers bloom. And I keep my eyes so wide and open just to keep these doors unlocked when I start to speak on what's been spoken. Never feeling broken, I just open up my heart when shit gets hard, and I just keep watering my garden. Always hoping that my flowers bloom. Got to let my mind just keep on wandering around. Yeah. Oh, through these doors I used to ignore. I'm gonna grow in this new you. You wanna get into this? I'ma close some distance with myself. For myself, help go cultivate some self-wealth with the little bits of love I bring it in from above or below. Yeah, you know, I'ma lift my arms and reach it. I cup it in my palms and try to drink this. Never preach when I try to cheat this. Oh, I'ma give love, I'll receive it to me. Enough is never enough. That's why I always say you got to just keep watering your garden. Always hoping that your flowers bloom. You got to let your mind just keep on wandering around. Oh, through these doors you used to ignore. You're gonna grow in this new you. And when your head gets hectic, switch up, find a new perspective. Know your thoughts reflect and keep them collected. Better yet, they're never projected. Come and communicative, receptive to what's relative, accepting a few facts alone. Never deny this. If a house is a home, there's symbols of parted, symbols of love to confide in. Till death do us part, we ride in. Petals of home, petals of home, petals of home, Meadows of Farmore for your garden. Oh, meadows of home, meadows of Farmore for your garden.
Oh,
There.
thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I love that song.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I know. Like, and literally, I like this song. Stupid ma. Oh my gosh. Oh.
No, but see, I like, what's it called? I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had trouble like listening to it a lot after it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
and for a while up until recently. But I think it's just because
Why?
I think I just played it too much, like not actually playing it, but like played it too much in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and it just got like too much in my brain. But it also kind of did remind me a little bit of like a darker place, because like that did come from like a
Not a happy
kind of
time.
yeah, not a happy time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of rough, but it is nice to listen to it now because like it's nice to kind of know like what I've grown from a little bit.
You think you could quantify how you've grown? Could you express
Yeah.
it in words? Yeah.
Um, I don't know actually.
You're all, yes, no,
uh,
no, no, I can.
I mean, uh, uh, I think I gain a little bit more confidence in my own in my own knowledge, and my ability to think, and
Mm-hmm.
in the fact that I'm actually a decently intelligent intelligent.
That was perfect because you stumbled all the way through that.
No,
And
I
I'm
mean
not
like
cutting it.
no, yeah, I think um uh, most definitely it's like since
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this song, um damn, yeah, like I mean just being, I think, more intact with my ability to create and to
Mm-hmm.
put, my thoughts into something
Mm-hmm.
that might mean something to myself.
Right.
um, and possibly to somebody else. That's also a really cool thing. Um, uh, but yeah,
So
just that I could do it, like,
I recalled last October, I drove out to Moab and I picked up your sister, right? And so she's got this song in her phone. And this is really the first time that I've listened to it because, like, I'm not gonna lie, prior to that song, some of your music, like, I'm your auntie, right? I get all the progressions of your music.
no, you're completely fine. It was mostly sad boy love music that
It
wasn't
was,
that great.
but it's more that, like, I'm still, there's traumatic moments that are locked into my DNA now from 10-year-old Keiran playing the drums on the porch, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's not that. It's the trauma is not anywhere. It's not bad. It's nothing. The real trauma came from telling your dad that I'm like, why do we have to do this? And him really like going to town on, you have to tolerate practicing, because if there's anything you're okay, listen, you know how your grandfather played the piano, right? It's loud and you feel like the piano's going to go through the floor, and it's good, right? He hits those keys and he stomps his, and your grandma doesn't like that. She does not like, which is why the piano was in the garage for many years. So just that whole
Joe,
idea. Yeah.
why you play so loud?
You got it right there. Hit that nail on the head.
I
But
can see it.
for all the people in the world that drove your dad crazy, because he's like, you have to practice. You can't get better without practice. So when I complained, then it was like me telling grandpa, hey, it's too loud. Go play outside the garage. So I always got an earful from your dad saying, I don't understand why he's got to practice during the summer. But I mean, it paid
It's
off.
break time.
It's my break time. It's the time I don't have to teach y'all nothing. Like, you just dumb little kids, just be dumb and run around. If it's your break, it's my break. Your break is my break.
My break.
Just never the case, but whatever. No, so here's your sister in the car, and she pulls out this song, and she's like, "No, you should listen to it." She's like, "But listen to the words." This is right as we're embarking on a 4-hour drive, coming back up to my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she put it in, and I tell you, like it hit. It hit. Just so, you know, because it always feels like your story is so it's all just your life, right? Your life, your family, the things, it reminds you of all the things you went through.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, there's a branch of your tree that's part of the same tree I'm from. And that song was so relevant to like all the things that had happened. You know, you just keep watching, you just keep hoping that things are gonna, and you just have to keep trying even when it sucks, right? Mm-hmm. And I tell you, from October until at least December, that song was on repeat in my car, and not because I said it wrong. It was deliberate. I did it on purpose. It's such a beautiful song, right? And the other thing that I really love and appreciate about it is that you say shit in there, and your grandma doesn't know that word. So
really?
It hasn't occurred to her yet.
You know what? I didn't realize that was a lyric, and we forgot to put that it's explicit on the thing.
People will be all right. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I think they'll be. Yeah. No, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Like.
Yeah. No, it hit home. It really did hit home. Like it rocked me for a minute.
Yeah.
It really did. Because you know how you told the story of how you really had to leave in order for you to grow, in order for your mom to grow, in order for your sister to grow. So I feel like a lot of that is boundaries. People just need 100%. To have boundaries, right?
Yeah, people need their space. And people need people, but they need their space 100%.
Right. And they need to be able to honor what they can honor and also reject what they can't accept. People need, and sometimes, you know, you feel like it's family. I just have to keep accepting whatever it is you're giving me. Everyone feels that way. Everybody in the family unit feels like whatever it is you give me, because we're family, I have to keep taking it. And so
which is actually one of the more toxic measures of the family.
And that is my point, right? It's like at some point you have to say, no, that's not okay. It's not okay. You can do what you want, but you're going to have to do it over there, right?
Yeah.
And even if that means that you have to be the one who leaves, right? And I think it, like, for me, that it was one of those like, okay, Pela, if you'll never put your foot down with the grown folks, because with the little people, man, my foot stays down. I'm like,
they don't know what uplifted foot looks like. Me, right?
They're like, she's what? What? Permissive? Who? Her?
What's that word mean?
Yeah, I know. They're like, you want a quick no? Go to Auntie Pela for sure. Whereas the grown folks are like, this is what I need you to do, and they don't even ask; they just tell me. And I'm like, this is not gonna work, folks. It's not gonna work.
That's not what I came here for.
Just like that. Oh, it's crazy. You gotta honor those boundaries always.
Yeah.
It's integrity to self. That's another thing right there.
I think yes, that is the perfect way to say it. Just, I don't know, like, to be aware of like how you feel in reference to other people's feelings, you know, like, because sometimes it was like it was a case of like too many feelings without boundaries, and everybody was super duper, you know, right in there. Everybody's feelings are valid. That's the thing, you know, like, and you can't like pose many arguments when everybody happens to be right in and of themselves. And so that's where the boundary things come in.
Feelings are feelings.
Yeah, and they're not always facts. You know, feelings are not always facts, but feelings are feelings.
Yeah. And if you expect somebody to honor yours, you've got to honor theirs, right? Well, you can expect people to honor yours, but if you don't honor theirs, that's a whole entire different conversation.
Right? Yes, which is a conversation I've also had with myself. So
it's a hard one, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is.
Trying to accept that somebody else thinks and feels differently from you, and that you don't need to be pressed about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just
The struggle
is.
is you just don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, just let people be themselves.
Yeah.
It's a very weird concept because they're like, well, let me be myself. And they're like, well, what about other people being themselves? And you're like,
but they can't because they're wrong.
like, that's incorrect, bro.
Right.
No, but yeah, so definitely just being aware of that kind of stuff, I think, since then. And it's weird because like I feel like I've definitely like moving out is like you reach like a growth point and it's like a climax in one aspect, and then you move into this new part of your life and you're like it's not like I was suddenly like at a rock bottom or something. In fact, I feel like I started off at like a really high, and then as I settled into my new space and like learned more about myself in a new space and as an individual, like you kind of like have to reignite new highs and like new points of knowledge. So it's definitely weird, but I'm learning about myself.
But you know what? I learned how to play guitar when I was 23, right? And now you've been to the family cookout. Which one of us plays guitar in real life? That's you. And I don't even lie about it. I don't even pretend. But I do remember when I first learned, I was always, my big thing was like, yeah, I play guitar. Yeah, I play guitar. And I really okay, don't make that face at me. Sir, I can see you.
There's smoke in my lungs. That was it.
You gotta look at me sideways. You at least should cover the camera. A little respect. That's all I'm asking.
No, serious. I feel like that's everybody when they first start.
Right. You feel like you know something, but then the more you learn and the more you watch other people do, you're like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I don't know how to do. I don't know how to play guitar.
No, I feel like I learned the most from going to go. Well, definitely not the most, but I learned a lot from going to, like, I just like drive to Guitar Center or like go to this place called Music Go Round, up in the Uptown area here, and they have like just a beautiful selection of like used and new guitars. People be jamming out, and I just like jam with somebody from across the room. Yeah. And just like try to figure out how they're doing these, like, because people who've been playing for like decades would go in and just shred, like, yes, like it sounded like a machine gun, and I'd be like,
let me hit that G chord. Hang on.
It's like, you need a rhythm guitarist, bro. I got a G major.
Watch me switch to a C. Watch this.
Watch this. It's a bar chord.
I have progressed that far, sir. So there.
No, yeah, definitely. I think I think I felt best when I felt like I'd reached a good point in as a guitarist when I went to Guitar Center, was jamming out, and these two other guys who were there already started jamming with me, and they're like, "Yo, what chords are you using?" And I was like, "You like that? You like that, dude?"
That life, like you think you know something until you realize, ooh, there's so much more, and I don't know not one thing. That's that plateau, right? Or that
100%.
That bottom of the barrel to the next high. Bottom of that barrel to the next high. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people describe life as just like a consistent, like, they forget about the growth points, like, and so it's just like a ride on the bottom line or a ride on the top line, and there's like none of the stagger in between, which is really beautiful. I feel like that's the best part, when you look back on it. Yeah. Not when you're going through
it. When you're going through.
No.
The process is not that fun.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been weird. Like, I mean, my roommate has lived on his own for like I think going on 3 years now, because I met him when he first moved out to live with his first roommate. So like he's like, I feel like he's really settled into like this, like being a human, functional human being.
Functional is the key word there.
Like as an individual and stuff like that. And so like I've been learning how to kind of settle into that myself, and like I still make mistakes. Like the other day, like it was I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but just like being like faithful in myself to be able to like deal with problems, Right. And like the other day there was a leak under the sink, and it wasn't like a bad leak or something, but like I didn't even like take the time to look at it. Like
Right.
like we live in this house because Adam's parents are friends with the homeowners,
Mm-hmm.
and they've given it, like they've blessed us with like a really really wonderful living
Great rate.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a great rate and stuff. And so I still feel kind of like touchy with like dealing with some of the house stuff, because I'm like, well, shit, like if I break it, then like, fuck, like this
Right. You
is
got to take care
technically,
of it.
yeah. And so like
Yeah.
I felt kind of lame because like I didn't even look at it. Like I looked under the sink and I was like, damn, there's water there. I didn't look to like see where it's coming from. Like I could tell it's coming from the middle. I was like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I called Adam over and I was like, dude, there's a leak. Like there's a leak under the sink. And he was like, okay. And he went and fixed it. Like it didn't take anything. Like he just like adjusted it.
Yes.
I looked at it after, and like the pipe had just like come apart. And he just pushed it and screwed it back together.
Actually, I could have told you that. I was like, it sounds like it just got loose, and all you have to do is retighten.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like kind of realizing like the fuck, dude. Like there are plenty of things that you can take care of, and I've been taught the tools.
It's not right. It's not
Yeah,
that
like,
hard, but you got to get your mind in it.
And like dad, like growing up, like I fix stuff around the house with dad all the time,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like making sure I can depend on myself for stuff. Like I do call mom and stuff to like help me figure out how to do financial things, like how
navigate
to like
those waters.
And stuff. So it is cool to like actually have like a learning source as to how to kind of navigate things like that. But I don't know, like I'm just happy to be in my own home and in my own space, and to be able to like learn these things.
When I was your age, or better yet, when your dad was your age, he and I were just coming out of having so many interesting times.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I would prefer that some of these situations just kind of calmed all the way down. Yeah, that would be nice. So I get it. Growing up, that's just growing up, right?
Yeah, and I did a lot of like crazy stupid shit between like 16 to 19. So like I feel like I've gotten my fair share of just like ridiculous partying and like blacking out in public and stuff. Like I've done that once.
I feel like you're trying to test me. You're trying to test me, right? To see if I can keep it together when you say all okay. I didn't know that. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I definitely went a little. I had my crazy times. So I mean, it's cool to like be able to like go to bars and stuff now. That's weird. Like
just kind of be responsible with what you do.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to. I'm saving up again for a car, because my car ended up going out in like February, and I saved up like $1,500, right? Like reaching the peak where I could like really start thinking about buying the next whip, and then pandemic. So it turned into like survival money, but my job let me apply for unemployment, so I've been getting a good income from the government. Yes. Yeah, and I should have a car soon, which is nice. But yeah, just like going through things, like it's kind of cool because like I feel like I would have been really stressed as like a past version of myself if I didn't have a car, just like worrying all the time. But I feel like I've done a pretty decent job of keeping my head and like not overly involving everybody else in my life as like as a mooch. Like asking for rides just sucks.
It really does. It really does. It really does.
It's such trash.
I think out of all the things growing up that I never wanted to do was ask somebody for a ride.
Yeah, I hate it.
For that reason, I stayed in your grandfather's good graces because I'm not getting a ride. I'm taking one of the cars. Let's just be clear about that. like, hey, your car's broken. No, my car is not broken. What's broken is that car over there. And that car works just fine. And that's what I'm taking.
He did.
Yeah. I make fun of your grandfather every February. I always tell him, hey, it's Black History Month. Put a bunch of keys in your pocket. I just feel like Black men have a lot of keys that they put in their pocket.
True. They always have it on them.
They
Like
do.
I used to know my dad was coming because the keys in the chain.
Right. Jingling.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I just went to visit my uncle in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we walked through a yard that had like, I think there were at least 6 vehicles outside. There were more than 6, but the 6, right? All of these cars that he's fixed up, the man has the keys in his pocket. I'm like, you can only drive 1 car at a time. So why do you have keys for all 6 of the cars in your pocket? Why don't you go with 2 cars and maybe your wife's spare key? But he's got keys for the cars, he's got keys for the church, he's got keys for the second church that they don't use anymore because they built and then they got keys for the shed, and like just a bundle of keys. And I said, yes. And then I heard, yeah. And that's what Grandpa hates. He hates it when I bring that up. But it doesn't matter. I did not ever have to get a ride. I just took one of the other cars. That was my point.
How is the family in North Carolina?
Oh, they're good. They live out in the country. They're happy. Get plenty of sunshine, plenty of work, plenty of food. They're happy.
I want to meet them sometime.
Yeah, sometime we'll all go together. It'll be good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this before this turns into a regular phone call for us. Tell me about the last song that you're gonna share with us today.
What's it called? So I might mess up the lyrics, but it's I've been working on some paintings and stuff during quarantine.
Yes.
And just try to keep like my artistic flow going. But I can't go to the studio because of this pandemic. And my producer's trying to keep it clean and keep it safe, which is really awesome. So he's working on, like, over the past like almost, I think 8 or 9 months now, we've been working on this this EP that I've been trying to put together. Nice. So we've got 5 songs done, and it was going to be 6, but we were going to do a feature, and we couldn't get the other guy in the studio. So we're just going to stick with the 5. But since I can't be in the studio and like be working on the music there, I still wanted to be like productive and still be working on my music. And also I just wanted it. I feel like, what's it called? Adam's dad has this, I don't think it's his saying, but it's something that Adam's family says to each other all the time. And it's 10,000 hours.
Right.
You know, you can't,
that's
like,
how do you get things, the 10,000 hours of work.
And how do you get to Carnegie Hall and stuff like that? Like it's 10,000 hours. Right. And it just like stuck in my head. I was like, damn, like, I mean, this is my craft at this point. Like I'm not in school right now, you know, and like, this is what I've dedicated my time to, which is making music and making art. And if it's my craft at this point, then I should probably do everything I can to get better at it.
Right.
So I was in the shower and this like Quarantine Chronicles popped in my head, and I was like, that'd be fucking cool. Like, it's just like it's a cool idea. Yeah. And I was like, I should try to run with that. And so I started working on that song. And I was like, I want to do a project. So I decided to make a little. I'm trying to follow through with like a quarantine album, like just work on songs. Well, I mean, as an artist, this is kind of a blessing because the struggle as being a functional artist is also making sure that you have a steady income and
just like I said before, functional. It's the key word. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, like are participating in society and in your life.
Right.
So it's I'm just trying to stay on top of my stuff.
I like it. That's a very smart idea. Very smart.
I hope.
Very wise. I just in case people missed it, you're my nephew, so I mean, I'm just putting that out there. Let's show a little bit of that shine, right?
That's my auntie.
I feel like that's what we need to make for the next family reunion. These are my kids. This is my monkey. Right?
No, hop.
We have issues, sir. I think you know this now. We can't hide it anymore. As soon as we publish, people are gonna know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow.
Yeah.
Why are they laughing so much?
I know. It wasn't
Sorry,
funny.
I'm enjoying myself.
judge me much? Oh, all right. Okay, let's hear it. I feel like you stole that bottle from my house. I'm going to say that you didn't, but I feel like that's my old Nalgene.
This was found in my house. Like somebody left
from
this
a
in my
year or
house.
two ago.
No, in this house, like recently.
I'm gonna say okay, because I feel like every time I come back to visit y'all, I just find like a ton of my stuff.
Whose fault is that?
I blame your dad, but still.
All right, but yeah, this is
Quarantine
a song from Quarantine Chronicles. What I've been doing, really not much, staying inside like I'm supposed to. I might say screw it, hit the backyard, probably around 1 or 2. Take some time now, just to stand around, then I'm back to the living room, maybe around 3 or 4. And though the air is cool, I still open the door, just to let it breeze in. For a change, been moving like the seasons, feeling so strange. Catch myself slipping, I slide the wrong way. Breathing in the smoke, always billow from my brain. Burning up old banners, and I hope my friends still see me the same. I changed my manners, now I cannot explain how to present my face. Used to write songs about how we all gonna be okay. Now I only write for the next day, and I'm only writing for the next day. What I've been doing, really not much, staying inside like I'm supposed to. I might say screw it, hit the backyard, probably around 1 or 2. Take some time now, just to stand around, and I'm back to the living room, maybe around 3 or 4. And though the air is cool, I still open the door. And though the air is cool, I still open the door. I still open the door.
I like that. Makes me feel like walking around the house in circles.
Yeah, right? Right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
That's that.
That's gonna be day 369, right? That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, my feelings. They're on the line right now.
I'll have day 364 through 67.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Man. Hopefully everybody emerges from this thing a better person, or at least okay, right?
Yeah, I think it's weird. It's weird, like thinking about how that like the possible paradigm shifts that could happen, coming out of this. But also like facing reality, like I feel like a lot of people are just gonna be like, oh my God, fucking finally, let's get back to normalcy, which is kind of scary.
It is. But you would want to go all the way back to what you had before. You're like, you don't want to change not one thing, not one thing.
Not even a tiny bit. I feel like there's some space for improvement.
Yeah, right. Maybe better ways of I don't know. I mean, I just think about it.
Yeah. Never cross our mind.
No, not yet. All right, quarantine. Here we go, round 2.
Right. I saw this idea about us like as a planet doing a quarantine every year, like a week-long quarantine, just to remember the pandemic. And I was like,
that sounds very. What was the name of that book? The one, The Hunger Games. That sounds very Hunger Game-ish, doesn't it? I mean, we don't have to kill each other for a week, but it's just.
True. I mean, we're not murdering each other. That's nice.
There's that.
But no, I feel like it'd be just like a week to take is like self-reflection week or something. Like,
Right.
like as a plan, I feel like that could be crazy. Like if we literally started not imposing, but reinforcing, like, yeah, you should probably take the fucking time to actually sit back and think, not like go on a vacation and go and like see the planet or whatever and distract yourself from what is going on in your life, but you need a minute, and
Yeah.
everybody should take a fucking minute.
I think that's probably like one of the scariest things that are happening for a lot of people is that you got to stop and reflect.
Yeah.
Whether you're prepared or you're not prepared, or you know,
Mm-hmm,
or you're
mm-hmm.
living a life or whatever it is, because I think in terms of like from the poorest people who have to worry about where's the money going to come from, where's the food going to come from, I'm running out of resources here, right?
Yeah, there's like the middle, especially that middle class that doesn't qualify for a lot of like unemployment benefits or stuff like that.
Yeah. And then take it all the way up to the top. When you have people at the top who are used to working and they can't work right now, and they have to deal with all those people that they ignore while they, you know, use the excuse that I'm working for you. Right.
Mm-hmm,
Now what?
mm-hmm.
Now what?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I've been talking to this girl, and she sent me this essay that she wrote the other day, because she's still in school and she's working on her nursing degree,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to write a paper on the correlation between like mental health and the current like quarantine right now,
Mm-hmm.
and like suicide, like specifically she was talking on like suicide statistics and new data in reference to suicide because of the quarantine, and why people are like more people are committing suicide because of quarantine.
Right.
And it really was like the way that she put it was just that, like a lot of people are like suddenly having to actually take the time to like reflect and think, and oftentimes stress more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's having a super hefty effect on people's mentalities.
Yeah, for sure. Hefty is the right word, because that's not necessarily positive or negative, but hefty. It's heavy.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
just a lot, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because then I feel like that kind of brings you to discussion of like, you know, the different like types of people, the different ways that people express their like being resilient or
Mm-hmm.
the lack thereof. um and like it is like a person to person thing, you know, like how whether people are going to deal with the stress and grow from it and figure out how to like not be stressed when they're in a stressful situation,
Right.
or if they're just going to be fucking stress balls.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That
Mm-hmm.
is a hard one. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. You and I have been on the phone for 2 hours, which is good because I love you. I love you. I don't know that people are going to hang with us for 2 full hours, but
I don't think so.
out of curiosity, like seriously, if I was somebody who knew you and I was your age, I would stay on just to be like, now what else did he say? Now what? I'd be like, he's spilling some tea up there. I'm just gonna let this play in the background. My friends are gonna be like, let me just say that I saw that you put it out, and that's good enough. They're like, nobody's got 2 hours in their life to listen to you yammer on with the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my goodness.
You have 2 hours because we're all on quarantine.
I know, right? I know. No, I did a podcast with this guy a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
in quarantine, and it ended up being a similar situation where I ended up talking for like much longer than the time necessary.
I just feel like, one, you should have already sent me a link to that, and two, you're fun to talk to, so there's that. And you're my baby, and there's that, right? And we no longer can do that trick where you balance and stand on my feet, because you're way too heavy, and I'm way not strong enough to do that anymore.
Yeah. I could probably sit.
5. Yeah. No, that would, yes, because there's no balancing involved. It's like,
yeah.
We're almost on the ground anyway. I'd be like, quit wiggling.
Oh my goodness.
You know how it is when we get together. It's like fun all the way up until I'm like, okay, I said. You got a smooth 20 minutes of a good mood here, and then the auntie is done. I know who I am. I don't even try to lie.
It's like, all right, that was cool, guys.
This is where I'm gonna bounce to my other auntie's house.
It's that or get outed by my little cousin. So
You got outed. I got outed.
oh
Oh my gosh. I'm
oh my
glad we still
God.
love each other. I mean, my little boy. I have one more question for you before we stop this giggle fest. When did your voice hit bass? Because I don't remember how old you were when all of a sudden you like took on the Freeman voice. The one that rumbles
yeah, because
like elephant rumbles. Yeah.
I literally had like a little girl voice until like I think
it was like a normal kid voice, and then all of a sudden,
except for when I sang.
Oh
no, my singing boy, there are videos of me in choir, like you know, 6th through 8th grade. Like singing all the fucking like soprano parts, dude. It's bad. A lot of the time, I would actually opt to beatbox for certain songs because I didn't want to be caught singing the soprano part.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, our struggles are so similar and so opposite. Though, again, Pela dropped to that bass line. Oh.
Keiran, hop up on them soprano notes.
The girls are failing me today. You go there.
Okay, Jesse.
It's so real.
No, but I think it was like the middle of 8th grade when my voice started dropping because I was singing a specific part, and I remember my choral director like got frustrated. She was like, well, I don't even know where to put you now. Like, voice keeps breaking. But I think I really hit it like probably like 10th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's when it really dropped. Yeah, 100%.
That's perfect because I know that we skipped a summer or two right in there because I was gone for military stuff. Yeah, that's when we started skipping the summers.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I was like, well, he's grown. Well, what's this all about?
What's the point?
Like,
Why are you here?
Who's this man talking to me about little kid stuff? I don't want to talk to you.
I think.
Don't you have your little friends? Go talk to your little friends. Like, little boy, I'm grown.
You may sound like a man, but you do not walk like a man.
Right? I'm like, I don't want to hear not one more thing about Pokemon. Don't talk to me.
Talk like a man, don't walk like a man.
Oh my gosh. By the end of this, we aren't going to have any friends. I just want you to know that I love you. I'm super proud of you. I love you.
Thank you, Pela.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about elves. I'm gonna think about everything for the rest of my life. I'm never gonna let it die. It's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll carry that to my grave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna have it engraved on the headstone. Keiran said, and then Jared said, and this is how.
And I'll just have on mine, JR like elves.
Put the mad face on Jared's tombstone.
Over the phone?
Oh, yeah. It just did not play out like I thought it was. I thought they would laugh with us. They did not.
Dad just went completely quiet.
I was like, you better stop doing the dishes and come back and save somebody. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Tell the people where they can find you.
Mr. Unlikely on Instagram. That's mr.unlikely. If you know how to spell unlikely. And then Kid Plastic.
I mean, you're making a big assumption there, but do you?
Some people forget the E, okay? But what's it called? I'm also so that's like my main account. I made a music account for Kid Plastic, and it's just that Kid Plastic. But I'm not really active on. To be honest, I'm not overly active on either accounts lately. But I'm trying to work on it. But yeah. So Kid Plastic, Mr. Unlikely, and then Plastic the Kid on Twitter. And yeah.
Are you out there
My
tweeting a whole lot?
I usually just tweet like clips of my art,
Okay.
like clips of music, and then I'll post pictures of my paintings, and I'll tweet the occasional bullshit tweet because it's Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's about it.
Nice. And so I noticed you're not on the Facebook platform, right? I'm getting that right. You're not there.
Yeah,
Are you there?
I have one. I have one. I haven't. I'm like
Not
supremely inactive. Like
Okay.
I think I've made one post, and it's because I found out that my account got hacked, and so I posted a status that said, "I know my account got hacked. Please stop messaging me."
Y'all, I know I took a shot to the head. I know I'm dead. You don't have to
It's like, it is obvious, okay? I did not want you to look at this video that I sent to you, okay? I did not make you a it was a hack about like one of those like YouTube things where like, follow this link, I made you a video, and I was like, I did not make
anybody a video. I've never done that. I never will do that. How do you not know this?
If you knew me, if you followed my other social media.
That's not pretentious at all. Don't even worry about it.
I'm glad you understand.
Yes.
But okay, I'll let you go.
Yeah, and then shoot me that link for the other podcast. I'd love to hear it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got laundry to do, right?
Yeah. All right. Love you so much.
Okay. Love you, baby. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.